Human resource management in the Philippines has gained a prominent position with the current focus on manpower development. It is governed by very elaborate legal framework. We are integrate with our Filipino value system and it is based on the concept of ASAL, which has three core elements. Number one, kapwa or rational standards. Number two, damdamin, emotional standards. And three, dangal, moral standards. Those three core values has underlie and give direction to Filipino modes of communication as well as decision making. Filipinos desire not only to be consulted as proof that they have an important role in the situations.
It can be concluded that distinctly Pinoy-style human resource management is identifiable through managerial practices that are evident expression of the Filipino culture, and especially its core value system. Economic, political factors are also a determining factor of Filipino human resource management. As Filipinos, place a high premium on maintaining harmonious relationship with everyone. Within the public sector in the Philippine setting, the role of human resource management, especially in the local government units, is related to the forecasting and planning of human capital, selection and staffing, development and training, performance management, employee discipline, and the promotion of the productivity and welfare. Thank you, Mr. Dayata, for accepting our invitation to be our guest for this interview, Pinoy HR Style in the Philippines. Sir, can you give a brief description about yourself?
First, thank you so much for the opportunity. I am Eliezer Pluto Dayata, a human resource business partner for the manufacturing and operations of Asia Brewery Incorporated, El Salvador plant. And this is a member of a Lucitan group of companies. And I've been with the organization for 9 years now and hoping to reach my goal to be with them until my 10th year. Yes.
Sir, can you tell us about your experience as a Pinoy human resource in the Philippines?
All right. Going back to the day I joined the organization, I never thought of anything because I did not apply for a specific position title because I just need work during that time. I was not even comfortable, and in fact, I almost quit on my first month. But the irony that I need job, so I stayed. But above it is I learned the process, collaborated, and maximized my potentials, which literally I climbed the ladder and reached the achievement now. But looking back, teamwork, employee retention, competitive compensation package, and workplace culture are some of the many challenging aspects in human resources. But how do we address these challenges? Together with the help of our corporate human resources, our corporate team have developed a program called Organizational Climate Survey, which this is a platform where we encourage our employees to speak and to give honest feedback of the company related programs or activities where our focus for this is to have a continuous improvement within the organization. So with this program, we can identify right measure and enable the right climate for an employee.
So, sir, for your own description as an HR, what can you say about the human resource in the Philippines?
That's quite hard, but we do have different languages or the different facets on how we are going to implement an effective human resources. But in our organization, we lead our team according to our corporate values. Let me share with you the leadership, initiative, teamwork, integrity, and most of all, dedication. So these are key to journey to greatness and making the company a great place to work.
For your 9 years as in the human resource, sir, do you experience those kumpadre system and Filipino values like utang na loob in accepting an applicant?
All right. So let me give my own takeaway for that. Meaning, wala na to na siya gidinay, nag-exist na siya. However, with certainty, we hire employees because they meet the qualifications of the job, and they have also an exceptional capabilities. Referrals are good, endorsements are good. However, we always try to see what the employee or the applicant can offer for us to be able to deploy them in the field.
With all the experiences that our guests this afternoon shared to us, I have made two takeaways. First is to handle yourself, use your head. To handle others, use your heart. And the second one is if you want to build a business, build a people.
Human Resource Management in Southeast Asia's Local Government. Case Study, Philippines and Thailand. The HRM is a crucial pillar in the core of most nations' development plans and a boosting growth icon for any country's economic development. In order for public managers and employees to execute a public sector vision, public sector reformers have to be careful with regards to issues and processes related to the following. First, selection and recruitment of suitable public managers and workforce. Career development and promotion opportunities for public schools employees. Provision of a motivating incentive system for public employees. Adequate interaction between the entire public workforce managers and their superiors. Team building and taking into consideration leadership, communication, and control. Philippines. In the Philippines, there is a central personal agency of the Philippine government responsible for the policies, plans, and programs concerning all civil service employees called the Civil Service Commission or the CSC. The chief executive has been appointed the responsibility of the human resource management and its development under the civil service body within the boundaries of the civil service laws, rules, and regulations. The role of Recruitment and Selection Board is to assist the local chief executive in ensuring objectives. The HRM practices. Although the recruitment and selection process appears to be very proper on paper, there is no actual compliance with any of the HR rules and regulations. It is also obvious that the decision for recruitment and selection were usually politicized rather than based on objective criteria. Therefore, it was obvious that nepotism and favoritism were the moving factors in the recruitment and selection process. There were no plans for filling jobs, but it all depends on the local chief executive. Thailand. Thailand's local government was responsible for serving the local citizens' needs. The local government was working, but with some supervision from the central government. The local chief executive or mayor was responsible for the HRM, administration and budgeting of his local area. Applicants seeking jobs at the local government should pass an entry exam. The selection of candidates in the local government depends mainly on the candidate's success in the entry exam, which is based on a specific criteria. The local government still has to abide by the rules and regulations of central government policies for managing the exams, like the advertising duration for the position, the criteria for candidate selection, and formation of the committee. Similarities of both Philippines and Thailand. It is obvious that certain cities in Thailand share common things with certain cities in the Philippines. In corruption of its local government HRM system. Both are characterized by unfair recruitment and selection practices. The mayor is given more power through allocation of budget and decision-making by the central government. It is quite obvious that recruitment and selection is completely politicized based on connections of the politicians with the mayor, who appoints the relatives or friends in return for more benefits and budget. The mayor was given the full authority and right to rotate or transfer people without returning back to central government, which affected employees' motivation negatively. Recommendation. To sum up, Recruitment and selection in certain cities in Thailand and the Philippines were characterized by favoritism and nepotism, and were done to serve the mayor or chief executive's interest. On the other hand, there are still chief executives in other cities in the Philippines and in Thailand that handled the recruitment and selection in a transparent manner. The central government role was supportive to ensure only a fair and equitable HRM system. To conclude the study of human resources management, the lessons learned from this study on the local level and also on the international level calls for governments to work on improving the HRM at the local government level to improve their employees' performance in rendering a better public service for the citizens at the local level. Most importantly, it is also recommended that the central government should ensure that the local government HR practices in the recruitment and selection should be based on objective criteria, fair and transparent system, and not on political favoritism and nepotism.
Human resource management practices in the Philippines. Human resource management practices in the Philippines, as in most other countries in many parts of the world, is faced with many challenges brought about by the world scene. Globalization, the growth of multicultural corporations, improved technologies are phenomena which affect the way human resource in organization are managed. Since the Philippines has increasingly become an active participant in the global marketplace, it cannot escape the effects that globalization brings. It is said that human resources are a primary source of competitive advantage. So competitive advantage through people, the human resource management, and the core competencies. So human resource management is a set of interrelated policies, practices, and programs whose goal is to attract, socialize, motivate, maintain, and retain an organization's employee. So for core competencies, it is integrated knowledge sets within an organization that distinguish it from its competitors and deliver value to customers. Competitive advantage through people is achieved if these human resources have value, are rare and unavailable competitors, are difficult to initiate, are organized for synergy. So researcher UP President Emerlinda Aroman made a study of the Philippine resources management practices. Questionnaires were sent to the top 1,000 corporations and government agencies. The questionnaires were accomplished by the HR managers. So survey results show that HR departments very strong involvement or emphasis on traditional personnel development functions such as recruitment, selection, hiring, record keeping, HR planning, job description and evaluation, compensation design and application, performance appraisal, which show in Table 1. The HR manager were asked what impression others in and out of the organization firm have of the HR office. So it's people, language, programs, and these are the findings. The Table 2 show the finding result. So to what extent do the HR managers view their field as profession? When asked their opinion about the characteristic of a profession described or somewhat described the field to HRM, the respondent listed the following. So number 1, HRM is recognized by the public as a profession. 2, it has a service objective. 3, it has a body of specialized knowledge. 4, there is a collegiality among practitioners. 5, it has a code of ethics. And number 6, it has an organized professional society or association. So the next table involved the HR in a strategic decision making. So 5 years ago was compared to the present, and mostly the highest percentage is the present situation. The greatest impact of HRM in the next 5 years. Number 1 is the employee empowerment. 2 is outsourcing HR functions. And the last is changing work design, styles, and environment due to information technology and computerization. So what is the future HRM in the Philippines? So management must now look more closely into the needs of its workers by involving them more as partners as it pursues its goals. This highlights the role of HR departments as it begins to transform itself into a strategic partner of management. So there are two possibilities that can happen to HRM given the uncertainties of the future. 1. HRM can grow and develop into a more strategic unit. In the firm making, it is an important and key player as the firm pursues its strategic directions. And number 2, HR functions become more efficient and effective.